tonight the opportunity for parents to pick up enrollment forms, and we get to meet our staff and just be a part of Westwoods and begin the journey.
We put on a spaghetti dinner, informational, more formal meeting than this later. And it's just a time for parents to come in and get comfortable with our school and learn a little bit about what kindergarten's like here at Westwoods Elementary.
I think at Westwoods there's just a real sense of community. I think there's a sense of community amongst the staff, and I think the families too that attend here.
We have a highly professional staff with a lot of professional development under their belts and lots of great ideas, to work with a variety of learners. And we have an open door policy, so we welcome parents into our classrooms all day long, every day, and encourage them to be active participants in their child's learning.
So we're here to learn all about kindergarten, and we kind of wanted to really open it up this year to not just if you're thinking about kindergarten for next year, but also Young Fives is a program that we have here at Westwoods. And that's kind of a little bit more tentative than kindergarten because we have to make sure that we get a certain number, and sometimes that number changes. I was told 3 different numbers last year by the folks at the district, but I'm thinking that it's probably going to be somewhere around 12 students. That if we don't have 12 students signed up, then we probably would not be able to offer the Young Fives program. So that's something to keep in mind. I kind of mentioned informally to some folks that if you're on the fence about whether your child should go to Young Fives or kindergarten, I would suggest signing up for the Young Fives. You can always move into kindergarten at a later date, but what I don't want to have happen is the door to close on Young Fives, and then you change your mind, and then, had we signed up, we'd have had that critical number, if you kind of catch my drift there. So we have a full program tonight, a number of different people. We have shared staff. For example, our school nurse not only serves here at Westwood, but she serves at a number of other buildings. One of them is Long Lake. And so we kind of maybe are going to change our agenda around a little bit to allow those folks to be able to answer all the questions, but then she has to run over to Long Lake because they're having their kindergarten parent meeting tonight as well. So next on your agenda is to go to All About Kindergarten, where our 3 kindergarten teachers, who will loop, by the way, with those students into first grade. That's something else that we do at Westwoods that's kind of unique. And we've got a slide in this presentation to talk about all the benefits of looping that we found. So when you had a chance maybe to go visit those classrooms that these teachers are teaching in now, they're not kindergarten classrooms. They don't really look like kindergarten classrooms because they're teaching first grade or second grade. But they will become kindergarten classrooms, and then your students will have, unless you opt out of that, your students will have the same teacher the following year in first grade in the same classroom. So we'll talk a little bit more about looping and All About Kindergarten kind of later in the agenda, but I know that Mary Ellen's been kind of nervous about the camera, and so I'm going to put her on the spot. But I want to introduce our school nurse to talk a little bit about the different things involved with that she's in charge of, and kind of different health things to talk about as we get ready for kindergarten.
Well, I'm Mary Ellen Sanek, and I'm one of many school nurses in Traverse City. And I've been with Traverse City for 14 years, but this is my first year at Westwood, and you guys have a really awesome staff here. So you guys are going to have your kids in good hands. For Kindergarten Roundup, it's going to be taking place here on April 25th. So you'll need to think about your calendar and what will work out for you, and it'll take about an hour for you and your child to be here. We do a number of things with the health department. We'll do a vision screening and a hearing screening if they haven't already had that in one of the preschool programs. You'll have a nurse interview with you, the parents, and your child, and you'll probably talk with the teacher and maybe Way to Grow, and a couple other stations. But it does take about an hour to do that. We have, my part is also like the most boring, so you can kind of, but some of the things to bring with you is your immunization record for your child, so that we can be sure that we have all the immunizations on record. It is a Michigan state law that kids that start school have all the immunizations up to date on the first day of school, unless you've chosen to have a waiver for that. So there's quite a bunch that you probably already had with your children, but they will need to have some immunizations likely right before they start kindergarten. Let them know the kindergarten roundup, we are the nurses who do not give shots. Okay, we're just going to chat, and we're going to draw, and we're going to have some fun. We have some paperwork for you guys to fill out ahead of time. One of them is in your packet on the right side, and it's yellow, and it's four-sided, and it's the medical, social, and emotional history. And that gives us a really good overview of what some of the needs might be of your child, as well as what their strengths are, so that we can be ready for your child and get things in place if you have any special physical needs especially. It's not a requirement that you have the green health appraisal completed for kindergarten, but we do encourage you to do that. Oh my goodness, we do, especially if you have any special issues, so that you can have one last total physical before school starts with your healthcare provider. We always want to have accurate information about how to get a hold of you. In the fall, I'm hoping that we'll still have the little half sheets of the emergency cards. It's really important for us that you always update it if you have a change in your phone numbers, your cell phone numbers, your work phone numbers, because if you have a little person who's not feeling well, we want to be able to get a hold of you to let you know how they're feeling. If your child needs to have any medication at school, whether it's a prescription medication or over-the-counter, we have a medication authorization form that is also mandated by the state of Michigan to have. It's a triangular agreement between the parents, the healthcare provider, and the school, so that we know exactly what your healthcare provider wants your child to have while they're at school. And these are also at most of the doctor's offices, and they can fax it back and forth and get that taken care of. And we're more than happy to help you with whatever the medication needs are for your kids. Let's see. The health department also comes back through their elementary years to rescreen their vision in kindergarten, first, third, and fifth grade, and their hearing in second, fourth, and kindergarten, second, and fourth. So we kind of try to keep an eye on that. They'll contact you if there's any problems with that. But we like to be a part of that and help you with whatever you need there. It goes fast. It really goes fast. In no time it'll be the year 2024, and they'll be graduating. It's just amazing how quick it goes. If you have any questions for me, I have a mailbox here. Anybody have any questions? I feel like I'm talking too fast.
Is the immunization record from your clinic okay? Because when we moved from Florida to here, they took everything off of the card and put it in their computer system?
Yes, because they would have, your doctor's office would have put it into the website in Lansing, and they can get you a copy from that, from Micker. Okay. Yep. Okay. And that'll be good.
Do we need the immunizations by the time we come see you?
We like them because that way then the office staff can get them put into the computer, and we'll know which kids are up to date and which kids still have things to accomplish before school starts in the fall.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Any other questions for nurse or health related stuff?
No? Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
This is so bad.
All right, our next person I'd like to introduce you to is Donna High. She's our speech therapist here, speech and language therapist, and she has we have about 60 students or more than 60? 50? Who see Donna at some point, and I just kind of want to make first of all, she'll be involved in a screening as part of that kindergarten roundup. But I also just kind of want to have you meet her because she's really an integral part of what we do here. Not only does she work with individual students, but she also is a resource for our teachers because her expertise is all the early language acquisition type skills. And so she's really able to provide just a great resource to our kindergarten teachers as well as our she works with a number of preschool students as well. So Donna, if you can just talk a little bit about what
Sounds like
do.
you said it all.
More specifically.
Okay. Well, you already introduced me. I've been a speech therapist for many years. I won't say how many, because then you would know how old I am. So, but I love working at Westwoods. This is one of the very best schools I've ever worked in, and I've worked in a lot of schools. I am part of the team, the Kindergarten Roundup team, and I'll be a station there. And my job is to listen to your child speak, of course. I'll be listening to their articulation. And then I will also be giving them a little test of basic concepts. And these are concepts that we think children in kindergarten should know, or it would help them to know, like top, bottom, between, corner, first, last. Are you all writing these down? And anyway, then what we do is we take this information and we get a very detailed printout of all the students and even the concepts that they missed. And then their teacher for the next year knows those concepts that they missed. So it really helps the classroom teacher, because if she knows that that child doesn't understand the concept of first, she will know that if she says something to the child like, you need to be first in line, that, you know, the child doesn't understand that concept. So she will teach him or her that concept. Sometimes it also means that maybe I need to get involved, and that's not a bad thing. You know, everybody wants to come see me in the building. But it may mean that I will consult with the classroom teacher, or it may mean that I will want to do a little more testing to see if I can help your child even more. So I love being part of the team, and I've only been part of the team since last year. So I've always felt like I needed to be part of the kindergarten screening team. So yay, I found it. Does anybody have any questions for me? See, Xander, you did a good job.
Yeah. I do want to make one thing clear about the kindergarten roundup and the screenings, is that these aren't, when we say screening, that means screening for us to know how to be helpful. It doesn't mean that we're going to say this child's not ready for kindergarten, okay? It helps us get ready for the children who are coming to see us, okay? So I think parents have a fair amount of anxiety, like this is a big test for their kid when they come in for kindergarten roundup. That's not it at all. It's for us to gather information so that we can be the best prepared for your child in the fall, and for all the kids in the fall. Okay. All right, no questions for Donna then?